This podcast is part of Another Happy Studios,
the home of podcasts with passion.
Hello and welcome once again to Talking Pictures Podcast. I'm your host David and joined with me as always my co-host Brian. Brian, how are you today?
David, I'm going to force in a theme with the trailer of the week and the topic we're talking about, the movie we're talking about.
Okay, good. I like it when these two things, when they combine. But before you do the trailer
I said force.
Yeah, I know, but I like it when they do combine. But before you do that, I just want to thank everyone for listening. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to us on your favourite podcasting app of choice. You can follow us on all of our social medias. They're down in the links below. And if you haven't already, make sure that you give us a little review. Costs you nothing, gives us everything. Helps other people find the show. Helps us, continue making these episodes. But Brian, as you were about to say there, you've got a trailer of the week and you're going to brute force this now into the podcast. Is going to match perfectly with Springsteen. Deliver Us From Nowhere? Deliver Me From Nowhere? Deliver Me From Nowhere. So It's going to fit perfectly in between the two. The trailer of the week is
Jack Black and Paul Rudd's Anaconda.
You fucker. How does this combine with Bruce Springsteen?
So we have a movie called Anaconda with John Voight, Ice Cube, and that was Jennifer Lopez.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you now, before you continue, I've not seen Anaconda.
Okay.
I've not seen the trailer for Anaconda either.
The new one?
No.
So I'm just talking shite then.
Yeah. Well, you tell me. You picked it. You want it to be the trailer of the week. Why? Why this new Anaconda film?
Because this new movie with Jack Black and Paul Rudd is called Anaconda.
Mm-hmm.
It's a comedy.
Mm-hmm. Has it anything to do with that original film?
Yes and no.
Okay. Is it one of these things where they are going to go and recreate scenes from Anaconda from the original movie, or they're going to the sets or something like that? Two guys that love the original movie or something?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
It
yeah.
just turns out that there are actually giant anacondas roaming the jungle.
Okay.
And it's a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very random and it's very much not what you would expect when you get a new Anaconda movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like the Anaconda Nicki Minaj song plays over the fucking trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I think. No, it's something else. It's a different song.
It's
Anaconda don't.
What? No, unless you got buns, hun. Yeah, that's what's his name?
I don't know and I don't care.
You do. You know it. You do know it. Yeah. I like big butts and I can't.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. So it's not what we expect for an Anaconda remake.
Mm-hmm.
Just like how we would not expect how Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere is not the musician biopic we all expect. And that's how I'm forcing in the comparison.
Very good. Round of applause.
Is it?
For Mr. Brian. Last name undisclosed.
Is it pathetic though?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think that is very, very clever. So, this episode of Talking Pictures Podcast may be quite short because neither of us.
It's 100% going to be at least an hour now.
No,
you jinxed us.
No, well, if it is, it is. But this is one that you've been excited for quite a while.
I was.
You have been very, very excited.
It out of my top 10, it was my 10th, 11th, or 12th most anticipated movie for 2025 because at the time of making the ranking, it did not have a release date.
And I feel as though the first photo we saw of Jeremy Allen White was like back maybe between season 1 and 2 of The Bear.
Was it?
I feel as though it was that long ago. I feel like it was a long, long time ago. Or maybe like I might be confusing it with the A Complete Unknown. That like those two felt as though they were in production at the same time, roughly.
Yes.
And so maybe I'm mixing up the two, but it just felt as though we did see something of this, and then it was a long time after. It feels like since the initial first look, or like behind the scenes footage, or
it was just
paparazzi photograph, that Jeremy Allen White has only got bigger and bigger and bigger since then.
Yeah. Like he was co-lead in The Iron Claw, and now he's leading his own solo movie, and he leads his own show. But we don't know where we stand fully on the movie, I think. So I wanted to come into it because I was under the impression that you were a big Springsteen fan. I am a big Springsteen fan.
But when I say you're a big Springsteen fan, you're not to the level that I think you need to be to watch this movie.
No.
Not to watch this movie, but to really fully appreciate this movie and love it for what it is.
No, that would be the Beatles for me.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, and so you obviously have something to look forward to with 4 of those movies coming in the next couple of years.
That's a bit excessive, but
okay. But I think that this movie it's made for Springsteen superfans. Because
I like the way you said super fans.
It's not like a traditional biopic, and especially not a traditional music biopic.
Yeah.
Where traditionally, like say Walk the Line or Bohemian Rhapsody or Rocket Man or something like that, you go in.
You could definitely you can take your time, name like at least 5 more that have come out in the last 5 years. Elvis, Respect.
Mm-hmm.
I Want to Dance with Somebody. Throw Straight Outta Compton in there.
Mm-hmm.
Throw Back to Black in there. But then we're getting into the point where it's not so much a biopic on their lives, it's a biopic on a period of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really see the rags to riches of Bob Marley in his own biopic.
Mm-hmm.
It's at a point of his life where he was assassinated, and it goes forth from there.
Mm-hmm.
The Bob Dylan biopic, where we will now all point to Timothée Chalamet as Bob Dylan
Mm-hmm.
for our generation. But that's only like 4 years of his young life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bob Dylan is in his 80s now, but that was at a point of his life where he was talking to Johnny Cash.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and with most of those, other than the Bob Marley one, it's from the start. We're getting to see them, before they are the mega icon that we all know.
The prodigy,
now.
that they're the next big thing, where they'll mention the iconic superstar who led before. Like, you watch Bohemian Rhapsody, they name drop Elton John. You watch Elton John, they name drop the Beatles.
Exactly.
We watched the fucking Beatles movie in 2028. What are the chances they're going to name drop Elvis?
Mm-hmm.
Things like that,
Yeah. And you get to see them become that artist, and here they are playing their first concert, and here they are dealing with their first manager, and all these different aspects that are just kind of like formulaic, I suppose, within the genre.
Yeah, and then they hit their ride of success, and then they hit a slump where they succumb to the likes of drugs or alcohol, and they all start...
What are we going to be dealing with?
And then they're hating on each other, they're fighting, they're breaking up relationships, and then they're acting the bollocks. Like,
here they are, they're going to get this smash hit that comes around and takes them out of takes them back to the riches. They're out of their rags, and they're back on top.
Same thing with Robbie Williams in his biopic. So that's not this movie.
No, this one it felt weird to. So and one other aspect, I suppose, of all those other ones is the music. The music in those other biopics, you're getting essentially the best of this artist. You're hearing all of the hits. You're hearing snippets from every single album. You're hearing the most notable songs, the ones that everyone knows. Like, going into this movie, this is where we are in different levels of fandom, okay? I knew who Bruce Springsteen was, and I could have named Dancing in the Dark, Born to Run, and Born in the USA. Those are the only 3 songs that I knew of Bruce Springsteen.
I was expecting like at least 10 more. 10 more in this movie.
But it's not a best of soundtrack whatsoever. No. It opens with him playing a concert, and you get the final verse, the final little tiny 30 seconds of Born to Run, and then that's it. And then later on you get the formation of Born in the USA, but otherwise it's fully this Nebraska album, just this Nebraska album. And I had never heard any of the songs on this album, or any of the songs then featured in the rest of the film.
I can't say I have either.
Yeah, so it's mad to like I was watching it and I was like, okay, why is it this moment? Why are we following Bruce Springsteen right this moment? Why this album? Why
before he exploded to global stardom, essentially?
Yeah. It was just it took me a while, I suppose, to figure out, why are we here? What is so important about this moment in his life? In something like the Bob Marley movie, you get this all leading up to this One Love concert, and this big huge event, this kind of maybe not the one thing they're known for, but the major thing that they're known for.
That is what these biopics do tend to. They have to lead up to the final show, to the final,
leading up to Live Aid, leading up to Elton John going into rehab.
Leading up to Johnny Cash singing to prisoners in
Folsom Prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of set it up at the beginning, and it's like, this is where we're going to end. How did we get here? You know, it's the classic record scratch. But with this album, it just felt like I was constantly thinking, I was like, why this? Like, this isn't something that I'm aware of within our own world history. It's not an album I recognize. It's not one I've ever heard. Like, even the name of the album, it's like, oh, you have to listen to the Nebraska album or anything like that. And so it was just, I was constantly just watching it and like, why now? You know, why this moment? Why is this worth putting to screen?
Because this movie is not about Bruce Springsteen as Bruce Springsteen. This movie is about Bruce and his relationship with his dad and his struggles to bottle his emotions.
And I think that became clearer as the movie went on, that it was very much, I don't know about you, it felt as though, because he even says at some points like, oh, I don't even know what I'm writing, it just feels like there's something else in that room, there's something else writing these words, like something comes through me. And I felt like it in some ways it's like, oh, it's the kid, it's his previous version is like pouring out his emotions through the older Bruce.
Yeah.
But then also I felt, I don't know about you, I felt as though the album itself is nearly it's a mirror to the movie, in that it's very much about this one point in time. The movie is about this one point in time, about this album, and Bruce was so obsessed with making this album exactly how it was when he recorded it in that room. It has to be exactly, I want it to be exactly like the room was.
Yeah.
And he was so obsessed with it, it's like, I just want to be in this one point.
He got a bit ninny when he was fighting back about the creation of it in the recording booths, fighting with the conductors of the operating table, whatever you call that thing.
Yeah, when they're sound mixing it, yeah.
Sound mixing it.
He
Sound
wanted it to be
mixer is what I was
exactly...
thinking of. Fuck's sake.
He wanted it to be exactly how it sounded in that room. And I felt as though it was just a parallel to like, oh, this... It was important to Bruce to tell whatever stories it was on that album, in the same way that it's important that this movie reflects that album, now, in a way.
Give this movie in the hands of some other executives, they want to make this movie loud and bombastic as the next big hit. They're similar to what we might expect to the likes of Michael Jackson biopic next year. But
yeah,
this movie, right, first of all, directed by Scott Cooper. Scott Cooper, in my opinion, is known to be a more somber director, like directing country folk, directing age-old America. Have you ever seen Crazy Heart?
No.
Jeff Bridges?
No.
You watch that movie, you could think, oh, is this a biopic on a famous celebrity? No, it's just a story. And just the fact that this is about Bruce Springsteen at one point of his life, that does not change the fact that this is a movie about a normal guy who is a musician, who is having struggles and issues with facing up to his trauma. And that's what this movie is about. And I think this fact that Bruce Springsteen wanted his movie, you know, because every musician gets the biopic based on them. Well, what Bruce Springsteen did, he didn't have it be the loud, colourful one to be bombastic and to maybe target all the wide net of audience. No, he wanted it to be the more personal one, to tell the story that he wanted to tell, which is
exactly how he was with the album as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to be about his trauma and his parents.
You know, what you said there actually about, you know, in someone else's hands, it would have been the big bombastic thing. And there's a scene in the movie that I feel also reflects that. And it's when Jeremy Strong plays the album for David Krumholtz.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there and it's playing and he's like, is this all of it? Is it going to be like this? Okay, just stop it. It's like, I get it. Yeah, okay, I get it. It's not for me, but where's Bruce Springsteen? Yeah. And I kind of felt that as well, where I'm like, this scene actually encapsulates the full movie for me, where as a general audience member, I do just kind of want to, or not that I want to, but I was expecting the Bruce Springsteen that we all know.
Yeah.
And David Krumholtz, you know, says it as well. It's like, this is going to be so difficult to market. You know, people want to hear Bruce Springsteen. They want to hear the hits. They want to hear Born to Run. They want to hear the Born in the USA.
Yeah.
And I just thought I've never had a movie scene encapsulate the whole movie in itself.
I agree with you, and I didn't even really properly think about that. Maybe at the time I did when watching it, but I managed to throw that out of my brain in favor of appreciating the movie that was in front of me.
Oh yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Like,
I'm not getting you. I'm
not
not getting you wrong at all. Like, I very much agree with you. I'm more agreeing with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I didn't realize.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially not now in hindsight, but I do now.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, I told you something in a text message that, well, after I watched it, after I got out of the cinema, and I said, this is, you know, because we had all expected this movie to be what we thought it was going to be, what David Krumholtz's character wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
The big, loud, hitting movie to target all the audience and fool us to cop up our cash, because it's like going to revisit the whole life of this huge artist whose songs we love. Because there's a trend now, like, it's been popularized since 2018 with Bohemian Rhapsody. You know, pick a musician, make a movie about him, get an actor to play them, and name the movie after one of their songs or a line after one of their songs,
and then that artist goes on tour next year and sells out. Like,
there's a little bit of that here and there. That's not this movie.
No.
In fact, what I said to you was, this is like getting a Batman movie, except it's about Bruce Wayne managing Wayne Enterprises and running his conglomerate empire, and the daily challenges he's facing as Bruce Wayne, and subtle hints and suggestions that he is Batman, or even having mentions of Batman the vigilante out there, but it's not Batman. Or how it would be a lawyer movie, except rather than it be a normal lawyer, it's Matt Murdock. We all know Matt Murdock as Daredevil. We get him as Daredevil, but we don't get Daredevil. No, it's him as a lawyer.
It's a good way to put it, all right, because there are certain instances where he is Bruce Springsteen, the superstar.
Very briefly, though.
Very, very briefly, and it was like, I actually quite liked it. It was like, I felt like the world was bigger back then, where Bruce Springsteen could go to just the local bar and play a set with the guys and then walk home. Or walk out to his car, and he's not being surrounded by fans and everyone looking for an autograph, or people shouting out, "Hey Bruce, man, love the album," or someone driving past and going, "You suck," you know.
Well, people didn't have mobile phones back then, so social media wasn't a thing.
No, but it just felt like the world was bigger back then, where it wasn't. It just feels like now that we're more connected as a world, the world feels smaller, and do you know what I mean? In a bad way. I feel like I liked the anonymity that he had at that moment.
Well, back then people just didn't have a doorway to the rest of the world in their pockets. We do now. That's why we're able to look up and see what the big hitters are doing today.
If you want to see what Sabrina Carpenter is doing, you can go.
Why the fuck did I think Sabrina Carpenter as well?
Probably because she's like one of the biggest, I don't know, artists on the planet right now.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
She's cool, I like her.
Okay.
But she's like the example of like what's hot at the moment. Sabrina Carpenter. She's pretty big. If you want to know what Sabrina Carpenter's doing, you check her Instagram, you check TikTok, you look on Twitter, and you probably know exactly, you know, what she had for breakfast 2 days ago.
And I think that that adds the impulse of your obsession with them.
Yeah, because you're feeding into it, and if you want to, I suppose when you look at like the likes of Taylor Swift, people are obsessive when it comes to Taylor Swift. Like, they know everything about her, and they want to know everything about her, and it feels like some people treat it like a full-time job to know every single little detail about her and her life.
Fans have their own name.
Yeah, Swifties, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a parasocial relationship that is sometimes taken too far. So it's nice to go back and see a time when that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
You know, fandom was, I buy the album and I listen to him on the radio and I go to see him in concert.
If they made a Taylor Swift biopic, they would just cast Taylor Swift.
I 100% agree with you. You're 100% right.
If they were to make it like in the next 5 years, she could still play her. They would have her play her. So that won't be done anytime soon. What did you... So, remove the whole Bruce... Remove the whole Bruce Springsteen aspect of it altogether. This is about a guy...
Yeah.
Who has issues with childhood trauma and abuse from his father. What do you make of that?
I thought all of that was done really, really well. The inability for him to truly give himself over to Faye and love her in the way that, well, I suppose he says, like, I can't love you in the way that I think you deserve to be loved, and she's just saying, well, just try. You know, all I'm asking for you is to just...
That's just his excuse to hide away.
Yeah. Like, I suppose that is backed up by his own trauma of dealing with his father and, like, the complicated relationship he has with him where he is abusive to him, and then he has these moments of warmth where he, like, takes him to the cinema. You know, they spend the day together, or he takes...
That's after he put a baseball bat to his back. He hit him.
It is, yeah. I suppose he stood up for himself, all right. But then, yeah, after he hits him with the baseball bat, you don't really see much abuse, or any abuse, really, after that.
No, but it's definitely not the first time that his father has hit him.
No, definitely not. No.
Like, he says, I don't want to fight. Come on, put your hands up. And he's nervous because he keeps hitting him with the wrong hand. He says, this hand, this hand, this hand. And the way the father hits him, it's like on an impulse. Like, he didn't hit him with the intention to hit him. He hit him because it's the emotions he's in. It's the act he's in the middle of, which is trying to teach him how to fight. It's not as if he went up to just hit him like that, or he hit him accidentally. Like, it was building up to it. So it was constant. It was constant abuse. Now, it was just the one scene we seen it as, but it's definitely suggested that it was more.
Oh, definitely, yeah. There's no point where I'm thinking, oh, this guy hit his son once, and then he's had years of trauma afterwards for the one instance where he hit him. Like, obviously, we're coming into this is the last time probably there was any kind of interaction, and then it's every scene after that is you're seeing this flawed Stephen Graham, his father, seeing him, I suppose, try and be a better person and try and not be abusive. And obviously he's going through his own stuff as well. And we see that in, like, you know, one of the final scenes as well, where he apologizes and he says, like, you were just doing your best. You were going through your own stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like, you do the best you could.
What do you make of them prosthetics to make him look older?
I thought they were quite good. I initially was like, oh, this guy, I didn't know if it was CGI or if it was a different actor altogether, but I was like, it's like, if it's CGI, it looks quite good. But I thought
I think it was practical.
Yeah, I thought it looked quite good.
It looked very well.
I thought it was. I really like Stephen Graham as an actor. I think he's great.
Fucking year he's having.
Yeah, Adolescence.
Yeah.
This, I think he was in the Boiling. I don't know if the Boiling Point TV series was this year or not. But what else?
Oh, absolutely, it was not this year. No,
okay.
It was a while ago. But, like, he's just rising up. He's now an Emmy winner. You know, it's not the first biopic he's in. He was the manager in the Elton John Rocketman movie. He was one of the managers in there.
Yeah.
So like, he's dipped his toes in now a bit. But his father in this movie was only in the present very sparingly. You know, he was the core of his trouble. Like, we had him in occasional flashback here and there when it was in black and white. But we had a lot of Bruce, the guy, not expressing his trauma, or expressing his trauma through anger outburst or paranoia or anxiety, or just acting the brat because the album is not being made the way he wants it to be, or he keeps saying, no, it's not what I want to do, referring to how he doesn't want to go on tour and do the big hits or record the big hit music. You know,
but you know, he does. There are a lot of moments where he is struggling with the trauma of what happened to him when he was a kid, and we see that by him going back, like sitting outside the house where it happened, or going to the mansion, you know, on the hill. And I was like, I think maybe it was like 2 or 3 times we had different scenes of him going to one of those 2 locations, and it happened enough where I went, okay, not that I don't want this to come across as like, okay, you're showing me too much, but it was the opposite, where it's like, okay, you're showing me this just enough that it's not just something that's, you know, hand wavy. It's like, oh yeah, just you have him sit outside the house or anything like that. This is something that he is truly struggling with, you know, that he has to keep going back there. And maybe is it he's going back there for inspiration in a way.
Yeah.
And these things are what's fueling him in writing this album.
There's a good few scenes where we see him thinking about writing, where he's saying the words and he's writing it down, and then he crosses out some words and he replaces them from her to me, or to, you know, like, just the whole process of writing it all together. Like, it was a more silent and therefore cheap way to showcase how this song came to be, because Bohemian Rhapsody was known for that, how this song was made and how that song was made and how they decided to make up this song, you know. So it was overall good. I thought though, when he did finally go to therapy and he just broke down, and then it was as if this is the final break. This is the first breakthrough to get into the core of his problems. But then it just fades to black and says 10 months later, and he's hugging his manager again, Jeremy Strong, and he's saying we're getting through it, one day at a time type of attitude. And then he has the heart to heart to his father, and I'm thinking, could we not have done with a little bit more of that, maybe?
Brian, I really do honestly want you to know, from the bottom of my heart, you took the words directly out of my mouth. I felt as though having him finally break down and like come to, you know, admit, you know, things aren't okay. I am really struggling. I'm going through this depression, and the fact he can't even, you know, tell me, the therapist is like, oh, tell me what's going on, and he can't even get a word out. He just breaks down crying, and then 10 months later comes off stage, oh, happy as Larry. It's like, we're doing this, man, we're gonna get through it, you know, things are going great. I'm like, what? You show me something of that. Like, I'm happy obviously that, you know, things are going better for him, but like, you've shown me all of this struggle throughout the whole movie, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, no, we're doing good. It's all good, man. Yeah. And it just felt it was just too quick to just go, yeah, we're gonna move on to now when it's all better. And it's like, no, I want to see some aspect of his betterment or something like that.
Yeah.
Now I know obviously that's not the story they're telling, but it did just feel like it was a super quick, fast travel to the solution.
If it happened at the start of the third act and then progress it into something more where it'd be more meaty screen time, as opposed to just passive slow burn type of scenes, like have him confront his father and make him aware of the shit he's dealing with. Involve the mother as well, whether she allowed it to a certain point where she did not even interfere with them. Include his siblings. He's got at least 2 sisters.
That's what I was, a bit concerned or a bit confused by as well, because the scene where he brings the 2 kids to the mansion and he runs, the 2 kids are running, but we never see the girls again.
No.
We've not seen them before that. So it was just like, who's this other kid?
Yeah.
I genuinely did not know, because they never said like, oh, take your sister and go anywhere. It's like, I'm not stupid. I don't need things spelled out for me. But when there's one scene with a kid and then that person is never referred to again in any aspect, it's a bit jarring.
Probably makes it a little bit more awkward getting that actress there, the actress kid who played his sister in the car, just sit in the car and then go run. Yeah, like it's a little awkward.
It's just strange. Why have her there at all?
Yeah,
it was a bit weird.
They should have committed to it a little bit more of that, add a little bit more screen time to it, because I could have done with more of that. If you're going with making a Bruce Springsteen biopic, but it's about him and his personal life as opposed to the life we all know,
professional life,
yeah. If you're going that, well then go all in on it. On that side with his home life, where we get to the core of it and show us some screen time. Don't be dragging out the progress of the Nebraska album and the making of. I could have done less time with that. I was happy with the sufficient amount of time we had with his relationship. I thought that was enough to see how that affected his love life.
I felt as though if like you were saying there with the confrontation, if he was to confront his dad, you know, in that 10-month time jump.
Yeah.
But maybe a scene with Faye as well, because he does have that moment in the diner where he's sitting there and he's like, she's right.
Yeah.
You know, like he does come to the realization that everything she said is true, and maybe a final a final meeting with him as he's getting better, and he goes to apologize to her, and yeah, they don't need to get back together, they don't need to do anything like that, but just, you know, giving her a little bit of closure where, yeah, she is right, and he says, he admits that he's struggling to her or something like that, you know, show the progression of how he's doing, that he goes and confronts his father with the trauma, but then also goes to her and gives her the relief of knowing that, yes, she was right and he is in the wrong for holding back or withholding his own feelings from her, and not letting her in.
And I'm not saying that would take away the final scene where he sits on his father's lap.
No, I'd still keep that. Yeah,
keep that in, absolutely. But yeah, it was a little strange.
Yeah, it's strange to go from that scene 10 months later and then it's into the final scene.
Yeah, I think it cheapens it, to be honest. I think it really does cheapen it.
What do you think about Jeremy Strong then?
It's great.
Yeah, I thought it was a really great performance, and it's very rare, I think, that you see a manager-star relationship where the manager isn't the bad guy. And the manager is fully, whatever you want, we will do.
Yeah.
I am on your side 100%. Even when he's in the room with David Krumholtz and he's like explaining, this is the album, we've gone through great lengths to make it sound exactly like it is going to sound. There's no press, no interviews, no tour. And David Krumholtz is like, come on, are you serious? And he goes, listen, I agree with you, but I'm standing by Bruce. Like, this is what he wants, this is what he's getting.
I did think it was weird that we had 2 or 3 scenes where he was talking to his wife, and his wife was just responding to the things he said by, yes, okay. I shit you not. That happens at least twice. Because we do go to his house where he's talking to his wife, you know, venting, talking about how it's not as easy to manage Bruce Springsteen, but he's still his friend. That was there definitely a few times. And he had his other friend as well, the mechanic. He's definitely...
Yeah, the mechanic.
He's definitely a friend from his childhood life and his younger years. And I know Bruce Springsteen did have a friend who died. I thought, is this him? But I couldn't remember. I know the other guy played by Paul Walter Hauser. I know that guy is dead in real life. He died in real life.
Okay.
But I thought, is that something that's going to be implemented here? No, it's just not a thing at all.
You know,
but it would be a trope where a close friend of the star would pass away.
Yeah. No, you're right. That is, yeah, especially when it's like either a family member or a childhood friend or something like that. You know, when Paul Walter Hauser turned up for a split second, I was like, oh no wait, Matty Matheson's here from The Bear, and I was like, oh, that's quite funny that he's in this too. But then as soon as I actually saw him, I was like, oh no, that's Paul Walter Hauser. And I wasn't expecting him. I hadn't watched the trailer, I don't think, since when it initially came out, so I had no clue that Paul Walter Hauser was in it. But
he's having another good year, I think, as well.
Yeah, Paul Walter Hauser is someone I always love seeing, no matter what, in any role. I'm like, I want to see.
You remember the first time we saw him? I remember the first time I saw him.
First time I saw him, the answer for me is in an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
All right,
but not you. What's yours?
I, Tonya.
I, only saw I, Tonya once. I'd have to rewatch it. I don't remember at all about it. What was I going to say though? Sorry. Yeah, I really like Jeremy Strong as a character. Just the way that he stood by Bruce, the scene where they sat in the bedroom and they just kind of embraced each other, and they just like, he put his hand on his knee and then Bruce put his hand on his hand, and just like I just felt there was a real connection between them. And even, you know, when they're talking on the phone and he says, listen Bruce, we're going to get you the help you need. I'm not qualified to help you with this. But please do not do anything until you hear from me again. Like, that's especially hard when someone is across the country and you're afraid of what they're going to do. But he's like, you know, he doesn't want his friend to obviously hurt himself in any way, but he knows he's not the one to fix this problem. And it was just a really interesting dynamic that I think they had, and relationship that they had, where it's like, I'm just so glad that this isn't a manager, this isn't the guy, I was going to say the manager in Rocket Man, or the manager in Bohemian Rhapsody,
or the manager in Straight Outta Compton.
Well, the manager in Bohemian Rhapsody and the manager in Rocket Man is the same guy.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about that. but that just goes to show that, yeah. But I can give you one back.
Go on.
Dan Aykroyd was a manager to the Get On Up guy, played by Chadwick Boseman.
Not Miles Davis, was it?
No. Brown. Is it James Brown?
James Brown, I think you're right there.
But he was also the manager to Michael Douglas's Behind the Candelabra.
Oh, okay. I've not seen either of
Yeah,
those. So I can't
so Dan
really speak to
Aykroyd
those.
played two different managers to two different musicians at certain points in life, and just there you go. Even gets you thinking about an actor being casted to play a real life figure, and I think Tom Hanks takes the biscuit of playing multiple people in real life. Never mind the list; it's too extensive to think of. But with Jeremy Strong playing this guy here, I'm sure he's played someone else. Look at the real life figure he played in The Apprentice, but now he's going to be playing the creator of Facebook,
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes.
Yeah, in the Social Reckoning. That's the one I'm excited for.
Isn't it interesting to... Well, essentially we now have we have Jeremy Allen White playing Bruce Springsteen. That is now him. Mm-hmm. Just like how we point to Elton John and Taron Egerton is Elton John, and Rami Malek is Freddie Mercury, and so on and so forth. And like, who's the next? You know, we have a checklist. You know, we've casted all the 4 Beatles now as high profile actors, like literally all high profile actors. But who's to stop these actors from ever returning to play these characters later on?
That
in
is
life?
something I would like to see. Yeah, I was wondering if that was where you were going. I would absolutely like to see if in 15 years and they wanted to do another Bruce Springsteen film
about an interesting, impactful story.
Yeah, have Jeremy Allen White come back again.
Yeah,
and I think that would definitely be something that would be an interesting one, because I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head where they've done that before.
Well, no, I don't think they have at all, really, because I'll get to it in a second, but like that could be something that Timothée Chalamet could play Bob Dylan
100%
in 25 years from now.
Yeah,
where he's much older. Or we could have...
You'd have Taron Egerton do it again.
Yeah, but that story did come to a close, so it would only happen to stories that are only set in a small portion of their lives. You know?
Fair.
Even the Michael Jackson biopic, that's only going to be up to the point where the Thriller. Michael Jackson's still going to be black by the end of his biopic. So if they wanted to continue more, if it's popular, well then yeah, they can continue it. But it's not the case with The Social Network. We have a movie where we can point to as the Mark Zuckerberg biopic. Now we're getting another one in our generation, played by a different actor. It's interesting.
It is.
I think
it is absolutely. So speaking of Jeremy Allen White, then how'd you find Jeremy Allen White?
I did think that he has more of a suitable look for a younger Billy Joel. Like, you look at Jeremy Allen White and put Billy Joel's picture next to him, I think, yeah, it looks like him. Or put young Bruce Springsteen and young Billy Joel together. Which one looks like more of a
Jeremy Allen White? Yeah,
I think it's Billy Joel. Did you notice that his eyes were brown in this movie?
I did. They were strikingly brown.
And I thought it also makes his eyes look much more smaller.
Yeah.
In The Bear, his eyes are so blue and they're so big.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Because I'm not as familiar with Bruce Springsteen, I found it very, very difficult to not just see Jeremy Allen White.
Really?
Yeah. It was something that maybe it's because I don't know Bruce Springsteen because I'm not a fan of his and I wouldn't have seen him live, or, you know, it was only in the press really for this film did I see Bruce Springsteen as he is. So there was at no point where I got over that hump, where I was watching, in the same way when I'm watching Rocket Man, I'm seeing Elton John on the screen.
But did you think about that when watching The Iron Claw?
No, because I still don't feel as though I know who Bruce Springsteen is as a person. I felt as though, yes, I saw this one particular time in his life, and some of the trauma that he went through as a kid, but I still don't feel as though I know him as a person.
But do you know Bob Dylan as a person? Do you know...
I feel as though I know a lot more about Bob Dylan than I do Jeremy Allen White. Yeah, absolutely. Or Bruce Springsteen, sorry.
Really?
Yeah. No,
Really?
yeah. Especially with the way that Bob Dylan changes over the course of that film.
Oh. What about Elton John?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel as though I know way more about all of their personalities.
Is there anyone you don't know of similar to Bruce Springsteen? Who do you not know of more?
I don't know. I couldn't think off the top of my head of any other biopic where I've come away from it going, like, I don't know who the person is, you know? Like, I don't know much about them.
Really?
Yeah. But as we said earlier, I've never really experienced a biopic like this that is so focused on this one part of someone's life.
Yeah.
So it is an outlier. You know, it's hard to compare when I can't recount anything else being like this before. I think, I don't know about you, I think for definite Jeremy Strong will be up for some award nominations.
Yeah.
In the Best Supporting Actor. Jeremy Allen White, I could see it, but probably not an Oscar nomination. Because I think it is a good performance.
It was a good performance, yeah.
And typically, you look over the last couple of years, most of the nominations, or you will always see a nomination for a biopic. You know, an actor playing a character in a biopic. I mean, it was Timothée Chalamet only last year was up for the Oscar for Best Actor.
He probably still will be again this year with Marty Supreme.
Yeah. Very easily so. And you know what? Just while we're talking about him, Timothée Chalamet, like, I think he got up, I think it was at the SAG Awards, or maybe it was Golden Globes, something like that, and he got up and he just spoke very earnestly from the heart, and he said, I want to be one of the greats. I want to be remembered like De Niro. I want to be remembered like Al Pacino. I want to be up here. I want to win these awards. I want to have my work speak for itself. And I was like, yeah, good on you. Like, I just felt as though that was so honest and so real, and it was like, yeah, if that's what you want, make your intentions clear and like work with these fantastic directors and work with these fantastic scripts and give the best performance that you can.
Yeah.
And so I just felt as though it was like, wow, this feels really, really honest. And some people could look at it and go like, Jesus, he's a bit full of himself there. And it's like, no, he wants to be the best. Do you say that when you watch, you know, Mo Salah play on the football pitch every week? Like, he wants to be out there. Like, every single footballer wants to be the best footballer in the world. And I don't know. I just really like Timothée Chalamet for just coming up and saying that.
I think he has the capability to be the next Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, I agree.
I fully believe that.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. No, there's not a bad Timothée Chalamet performance.
He's getting there.
Absolutely.
He is getting there. Mm-hmm. It's a shame that he worked with Christopher Nolan before he was Timothée Chalamet, and yet Tom Holland gets to work with Christopher Nolan before that.
Yeah, but swings and roundabouts. He'll come back around.
Yeah.
He'll come back around.
I also want to mention that it's just funny that a hot up-and-coming actor that may have been a supporting role in a few things, but maybe led in something more like an indie or their own TV show, they're ripe up for either an IP or a biopic.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jeremy Allen White's got two.
Yeah, and the same a little bit with Austin Butler, and you know, I just think it's funny, you know, throw Jeremy Allen White, Austin Butler, and Timothée Chalamet in the same room. You got Bob Dylan, Elvis Presley, and Bruce Springsteen in one room. I just think it's funny with all these collections. It's all becoming a big collection now, to the point where we will be getting one musician biopic where all these actors and musicians come together and they say,
yeah, when are we going to get the what's the song, the Band-Aid song, is it? You know, the one that's like, free the world. Like, when are we going to get the formation of that and have all of these actors playing all of these musicians?
Yeah, we're still due to get our Billy Joel, our Phil Collins, our, what else are we due to get?
Let's
YouTube, Bono, yeah, we're still due to get that.
Let's wrap up on this. Fan cast now, music biopic.
Fan cast?
Yeah. Who would you like to see play someone else?
Well, it's in the mentions, but whether it will happen or not is yet to be confirmed.
Go on.
What I do want a Madonna biopic with Julia Garner playing.
That's good one. I will give you, in return, Margot Robbie playing Britney Spears.
You saw that somewhere recently.
No, what do you mean?
I saw that recently.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I did see it then, and it stuck in me. But
because I literally saw that there the other day.
Oh, okay. Well, There you go. Maybe I did see it and I subconsciously
I
took
don't
note
know.
of it.
I
but-
thought Sydney Sweeney would have been.
I could see that too. I like Margot Robbie more than I like Sydney Sweeney, but
Completely off topic, but Jeremy Allen White and Austin Butler are starring in a movie together where a cop and an assassin are squaring off in a movie called Enemies.
I could see Jeremy Allen White playing the cop and Austin Butler as the assassin.
Yeah, I think that's the way it's
that'd be
going.
it. Brian, have you got a recommendation before we let the people go?
I'm going to recommend David go first, and then I recommend something after.
I will recommend Roofman.
Oh, nice.
Which is the new Channing Tatum movie where he is a escaped convict who ends up living in a Toys R Us. If you watch the trailer, it's exactly what you expect. It's, it's a heartfelt movie where he plays a bit of a silly character in a dramatic circumstances, and I think Channing Tatum can be known for being just the hot guy or the comic relief, especially with like the Magic Mike movies and the 21 Jump Streets and all that. But no, when he does have to play a serious role in the likes of Foxcatcher or this, he does nail on the head. So, Roofman, if you watch the trailer and you're interested in it, it's you know what you're going to get with it, and it's a good, enjoyable time.
I'm going to recommend Shelby Oaks, a movie I've not seen yet. But it's all in favour of supporting Chris Duckman, a YouTuber I've been following at heart for as long as I can remember. And I'm looking forward to seeing it.
It'll be out this week.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
hopefully
Friday.
I'll have seen it at the time of this release. But fuck it, I'll also recommend Gen V. I just watched the finale of
Nice.
of season 2. It's good, it's fine. If someone says it's shit, fuck you.
It's funny, I've not watched it yet, but I have not heard anything about it. I've not seen anything from it.
And I understand if people saying that it's not as good or shit or whatever, or it's boring. It's like, yeah, okay, but still fuck you. That's all.
That's alright.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Brian, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Talking Pictures Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Talking Pictures. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're subscribed to us on your favourite podcasting app of choice. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us on all of our social medias to never miss an episode. This podcast is brought to you by Another Happy Studios, so make sure to check out all of the other podcasts in our network. They're usually in the links down below. You can follow us on YouTube or follow us at anotherhappystudios.com. Brian, any final words before we let these people go?
Yeah, looking forward to the 4 Beatles movies coming out in 2028.
I think that if those movies do come out in the way that they say they're going to come out,
Yes.
I would do a special week of Talking Pictures where we did a Monday episode, Tuesday episode, Wednesday, Thursday, and then on the Friday we did a recap of all 4 of them.
That's a bit much.
Yeah, I know, but it's 2028, so we've got 3 years to see if they're going to do that or not. That's the wager I'm putting on it.
Yeah.
That I believe that they won't release them all in such quick succession. I think that they will do them, like, say, 1 in January,
Yeah.
1 in May,
Yeah.
1 in August, 1 in November. They'll put them 1 in each quarter.
Yeah.
I think that that's it.
Here, they're going all out with it. They've casted great members and they've casted great partners.
Yeah. And they've released all the partners and stuff and who they'd be matched with and all. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, every single one of those, a great casting.
And there's also a great actor who's striking high in House of Guinness.
Yeah. What's his name? Can't think of his name, but I know who you're talking about.
He's coined to play the first Beatles manager, Brian Epstein.
Okay.
And I thought, yeah, perfect.
Good.
So, I've been waiting for a Beatles biopic for so long now, and it's actually happening.
I'm surprised that it's taken this long. I also feel the same about the Michael Jackson movie that's coming out. That just feels like that should have been
The
sooner.
controversy has stopped that, and now we're finally getting it. But yeah, onwards and upwards.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, David.